we know obviously it's great to start 4-0, but what does a good start? We always hear about a good start. What does it do for your group in the early part of the season?
Record-wise, or in games?
Yeah, just more like when you have a good start, what that can do for the group.
Yeah, they feel better about themselves for sure. You don't squeeze your stick quite as tight when you get your first win out of the way. I think that's one thing. The way we look at it, it's every day's a new day. So when you talk about start, for us, that's the first 10 minutes tonight, where we want to make sure that we're ready to play, and for us, that's really all that matters.
How have you felt about the starts to the games so far this season?
Just okay. I mean, we've had stretches where I've liked the way we've played, and then there's stretches where I thought we've taken on some water early. So a lot of that comes down to preparation and making sure you're simple, especially on the road. You don't want to overcomplicate anything. You want to make sure the approach that we take to the game is true to who we are. And I feel like if we start that way, then we'll give ourselves a chance.
You guys have an opportunity to do something tonight that hasn't been done in 52 season history of the franchise, and that's start the season with 5 straight wins. Is that something that you'll share with the players, or is it all about focusing on the game and that's it?
It's just the game. You know, what's happened like last couple of weeks or last few games, those are in the past. What happens tomorrow doesn't matter. It's just today. That's all that we get them to focus on.
You have Vladar in net tonight?
Yes, we are.
Even though Dustin's sitting out tonight, how would you say the philosophy's changed around playing younger goalies? Because it seemed like there was a time maybe teams waited later and later, whereas if what we're seeing now is teams like yours and others are starting the season with these guys and saying, hey, we trust you. So what's it been, you think, about the last few years where we've seen that evolution?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think maybe it's more teams have kind of gone away from the so-called starter model where there's a guy that plays the 65 games and the other guy just comes in when he needs a bit of a rest. You don't see that as much anymore. It's more about a tandem type thing with your goaltenders. So, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, for us, the guys that we have, you'd consider them both younger guys for sure, but they're both quality goaltenders, so we're comfortable with either guy. Age doesn't really come into the equation as long as they look good in the net and they're stopping pucks.
And in the case of someone like Dustin, like, yes, you brought him up last year. You guys seen him intermittently. But with what you've seen from him this year, like, what have maybe been those differences compared to in the past where you've seen him and you saw the promise, whereas if this year you're seeing him, and yes, while it's still early, you're like, okay, we're seeing him fulfill that promise. Granted, it's still early.
Yeah, I mean, every year he's gone, or every year he's played, I should say, he's been the best goaltender in his league. From his last couple of years of junior hockey through the American League, when he came up and played with us last year, the one thing that he's always had is a strong belief in himself. I think when a young goaltender starts to play in the NHL, he has to get used to the speed of the game, the way the guys shoot. It's a different level here, and now I think he feels like he's pretty comfortable with what's coming at him. So I think it's just kind of the evolution of him maturing and seeing these guys on a more regular basis.
The power play has had success in the first 4 games, but it's been more the first unit than the second unit. What would you like to see from that second unit tonight?
I think it's entries, and I would say that's both units, Willsy. Like, I feel like once we get the puck into the zone, we do some good things with it, but we've had some trouble getting ourselves set up. So it's kind of been a focal point for us over the last couple days, and that'll continue for us tonight. And then from there, it's don't overcomplicate it once you get it in there. Let's stay with the same kind of 5-on-5 identity that we've had the first few games, and really we're looking for them to create momentum. So if it's the second unit, the first unit, whatever you want to call them, that's what expectation is when they step on the ice.
On the other side, with the penalty killing, you mentioned trying to establish a few pairs. Are you starting to see some good pairings develop there?
Yeah, we're starting, but we're also missing. Like Sharon's a really good penalty killer for us, so we've bounced guys around a little bit, which isn't ideal because you do want that connection between guys. But I do think right now they're starting to get a better understanding of what Lars is looking for them on the penalty kill, and I think we have gotten better every game. It'd be a good challenge for us here again tonight.
How can your depth give you an edge tonight? 2 teams that like to play 4 lines.
Well, I think you probably hit it right there. That's the strength of Seattle's team, is they have 4 forward lines that can all skate, they all play hard, they all play the same way. So if you take a shift off on our side of things, we're not going to give ourselves an advantage in the game. So we like that for us now because we feel like we've had 4 lines that have contributed. They've all played kind of the same way. So I think because of that, we're expecting this to be a really good game tonight.